Good morning. Brad here with Flat Out Trucking. We are at the house. We got here on Friday. I got a load I'm going to deliver up in Nashville on Monday. Then we're going to Louisville, I think. But we got decent weather out here. It's not too terribly cold today. So I thought we'd go ahead and do this, because I know a lot of y'all want to know who I am. I want to know more about this here unit. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. My name is Brad. I'm 37 right now, and I started driving in 2017. I got a late start because I had a horrendous driving record, because we like hot rods. So I used to drive way too fast and collect the tickets like they were going out of style. So it took me a while to get right and get my act together so I could finally come out here and do it. And I kind of grew up around it. My granddad drove, and he was an owner operator. He pulled a step deck out of Memphis, and he had a old GMC Astro cab over that I used to ride around in when I was younger. So I was kind of around it as a child, and it just kind of got into me, and I knew that I always wanted to do it. I just had to grow up a little bit in order to do it. So we finally managed to do that around 2017. I got everything straightened out, and at that point you could probably get a CDL just fine. But if you didn't have some kind of truck driving school, a lot of these companies didn't want to hire you. So I went through a program that I don't even remember the name of now, and I went to school out in Maryville, Tennessee, in East Tennessee, to a place called Peak Institute that is no longer there, and got my CDL through them, and went through a program through PAM Transport, and I pulled for PAM Transport as a company driver in the beginning. And that's kind of where I got my start, and did a little bit of OTR with them here and there. Mostly what I ended up doing with them, I had a dedicated running from Mount Juliet, Tennessee down to Laredo, hauling GM parts. I think that's still their bread and butter. They have a big thing set up with all of the auto manufacturers. So we did a lot of that, and that's kind of how I ended up in Laredo. I did that for about a year and had it down really well, and we went and we bought this truck right here. Now it looked a little different. It was bone stock. It didn't have anything on it. Of course, it still had the roof cap up on the top. And we bought this in 2018 with 451,000 miles on it from the Nashville dealer at MHC Kenworth, and it had been with a small company out of Nesbitt, Mississippi called Graham Trucking, and they had traded it in at the Memphis MHC. So we transferred this up from the Memphis MHC up to Nashville, and I bought it out of Nashville in June of 2018. It's a 2014 Kenworth T660. And when I got it, it was an extremely clean truck. Graham is pretty regional, and they only run the Southeast and some of Texas for the most part. So it didn't have any rust on it. It didn't have any frame scale. The truck was super clean inside and out. Underneath, I mean, it was a good truck. And so I got this one. Now this one is a 10-speed. I wanted a 13, but the truck was so clean and the price was good, so I wasn't going to argue with him about it not having a 10 or not having a 13. And it is, I can get this open here. Open the hood here. And it is a Packard MX-13. Now, I know a lot of people do not like these engines. And this one is an EPA 13. And from my experience, these EPA 13s are very good, reliable little engines. I haven't had any trouble out of this thing, motor-wise. All of my trouble was all after treatment. And it went on a diet in 2020, 2021. And that took care of that. And then last, I think it was September, October, we did this, which is a old school fixed geometry turbo. And this one is wastegated. This is a Borg Warner K31. And so this did away with the EGR cooler. As you can see, the back pressure valve, which sat behind the turbo, which is what mine had problems with, that's all gone. It did come with a new manifold. Came with the crossover pipe, which is nice. All the block off plates. This really woke this engine up a whole lot. A whole lot. It cleaned all this side of the motor up too. You can get to a lot of things now. It makes changing the oil filters, these are the oil filters right here, it makes changing them easier. I need to replace this oil cooler at some point. It's going to make that a whole lot easier to get to. It picked up fuel mileage. It wasn't ever bad fuel mileage. It wasn't as good as everybody makes it out to be. Pulling a van with the cap still on it, I don't know, I was probably between 6 and 7 when I went to open deck. We did take the cap off. Open deck, it kind of depends. My mileage really depends on what I'm hauling back there. It depends on the weight and the shape of it. If it's something kind of low and light, it's not too bad. If it's something real tall and stands up over the top of the truck, catches a lot of wind, obviously it'll slow down and the fuel mileage won't quite be as high. But with this now, I have picked up probably between 1.5 miles to 2 miles per gallon increase from when we did this. We did this and we put a new exhaust system underneath of it, and it breathes a whole lot better now. So I know there's a lot of people, I get a lot of comments, a lot of messages asking about this. This is not a bolt-on kit. It is a kit, quote unquote, but it is far from bolt-on. Still some engineering, of course you got to tune it and all that, but it made a world of difference from what I had before to what I have now. It's a factory 455 horse MX. I don't know where it is now. I would like to get it dynoed somewhere at some point maybe, but it is strong. It's a whole lot stronger than it was. This one seems to like to be really wound up. It seems to do better when it's way up on the top end, but it's been a really good motor. It really has. This is about 1,060,000 right now, so we're getting close to 1.1. And I do oil samples every single time when I change my oil. They always come back good. I mean, I have no complaints. I really don't. I think probably somebody was asking what the biggest, if I had to pick a con, the biggest con about these Packards is parts. There's a lot of stuff for these things that you can only get from the dealer. There is a little, you can't see it, it's down here, right there, where this line comes down. It's a little brass fitting. It's an air line. And it's a little bitty fitting. And it's some weird size, and that was leaking on me one time. And I had to go to Packard to get it, and I think that little fitting was like $60 or $70. So it's just stuff like that. And sometimes a lot of people don't want to work on them. So that can be kind of tricky to find, but other than that, I really don't have any complaints on it. I really don't. It's been a good engine. I mean, it runs good, especially after this. It gets good fuel mileage. I mean, I don't have any complaints. I mean, is it a cat? No. But I like a cat? Yeah. But this is what we got. And I've been extremely happy with it. This one is a 72-inch sleeper. They did make some of the 86 inches that were a little longer, that were the studios. I actually looked at a couple of those and they just couldn't get right on the prices. So this is a 72-inch. It's a little messy in here right now. We've been mounting some tablets and stuff, but so this was everything was bone stock in this. This was just black. This was like a rosewood kind of color. I mean, the truck was bone stock. It does have the VIT interior, so I have all the diamond tuck there. I have it in the doors. I've got it in all the sleeper panels. So everything's got that nice diamond tuck, which is nice. It's been a good truck. It really has. I love this truck. I really wanted a W9 originally when I was looking at trucks, and at the time I found a lot, and I found some for decent prices. They were all very high mileage trucks, which I didn't have a problem with, but they didn't, a lot of them didn't have paperwork on them for rebuilds, and I wasn't really in the position to buy a truck that was going to end up needing a rebuild like immediately. So like I said, I found this one. It was a good truck. I don't have any complaints. I love this thing. I really do. We did get this in. This is my new ELD here, so it's mounted, and now this is just the log. That's all it does. All my other tablet functions, like my Spotify and everything else, are all on this one right here. And we got the rim out in for yesterday for this one, so I got it all mounted up, so that's nice. This right here, there's a lot of people, I get so many comments on this twin stick. What is it and how does it work? This is not a true twin stick. I know that's going to irritate a lot of people, like, oh, you're a poser. It is what it is. This is just a 10-speed, so this is the actual shifter right here. And when I bought it, it had the paddle, like all of them have, and I had a push-pull switch on it for a while. And these are actually made from a guy in Pennsylvania called Spare Time Fab. He also makes these, so I got these glass watermelon dome lights for. He makes those. But all this essentially is down here in the floor is a valve. So this is the high-low range valve that would normally be on the shifter right here, except now it's just on its own little deal. The valve's mounted to the floor, the air lines come up into it. So that's your low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll split up, go back over 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's what it is. It's just something that it's just a fun little thing. I like it. Gives it the classic look. It's a little different. I do get a lot of, I'll take it to a shop for something, and one of the techs will jump in and, oh, I can't drive this. It's not as hard as you think it is, buddy. So I hope that I did kind of explain it on another video. Hopefully that explains it some more. That's what that is. It's just a valve there in the floor. That's all it is. I've got lights everywhere over this thing. You know, I've got, those are, you know, glass watermelons. We've got amber lights there on either side of the door here. We've got them up underneath, mini watermelons under here. We got a big watermelon under there. I got 2 more on the other side, like these little mini ones from Roadworks. I've done that. We've put the lights on it, the Roadworks sleeper panel, cab sleeper panel kit. We have put the visor is a Roadworks. It's just a straight 13-inch drop visor. I put my window chops on. One, I like the way they look, and 2, they keep the sun out of my face in the afternoons. When it comes down, it doesn't go right into the cab. So that's been nice. Overall, it's a pretty stock truck, really. I wanted the front airbags at some point, and at some point I still may get it. They had a factory option, house of air, and there's some other people that make some aftermarket kits that are really nice. It just hasn't been in the cards. This has the AG 400L, I believe, rear suspension. So it's still a 4-bag, it's not an 8-bag. I've replaced the bags a few times. I have done a U-joint, that one right there. Other than that, I really haven't had any issues out of this. I believe these gears are, I think they're like 336, I want to say. I'd have to crawl under there and read the tag again, but they're kind of in the middle. It's a good in between. So we just replace shocks pretty regularly, keep an eye on the bags, and that's really all we do back here. We service these every 500K, which I just did not long ago, both of my diffs and the transmission in the truck. We just got new tires not long ago. We did that in Jacksonville a while back. I think y'all were there for that. We put the water pump on. These are Ironmans I put on because I was a little strapped for cash. I've actually been really happy with these, so we'll see how they do in the long run. The truck is filthy right now, y'all. I'm sorry. It has been an awful winter. Everything has been very salty. Normally this is a whole lot more clean, but little TMI, 5-door headache rack. I bought this off of another Mercer driver when I started doing flatbed. And most of my equipment when I started came from him as well. And then we took these fairings off because they were getting, the mounts were just worn out in them. They were rattling and making a lot of noise, so we took them off. Eventually I'm going to take that off because that doesn't need to be on there, but we'll get to that at some other point. But that is the truck. That is it. If anybody wanted to see more on the inside or something, just leave a comment, and in one of my other videos we can look at something more in detail if there's any specifics that somebody wants to see inside. I did get these made. Might get them made in a different color, maybe a little bigger, but so that's it. The trailer isn't here right now, it's actually down the road, and we'll go over there later and look at it. It's nothing fancy, it's just a pretty basic Great Dane Freedom LT, but it does the job. So that is that. So I've been driving since 17. I've been an owner operator since 18, and I started flatbedding in 2021 with Mercer. I originally came over there on the van side, did that for a while, and very quickly got tired of it because at that point I had been doing van a while. It's the same thing over and over, and I just wanted something different. I just wanted something different. The rates have been a little bit better on the open deck side. Right now the rates are kind of bad everywhere, so that is what it is, but that's why we made the switch to flat. I just wanted something different. I was just so tired of open and closed doors, back into a dock, pull out, close, rinse, repeat. I was just sick of it. I had to make a change, so I've really enjoyed the whole flatbed thing. Maybe eventually might look into doing something with RGN work, but we'll see what happens. There's not a whole lot of that over here at Mercer. So that's the truck. That's a little bit about me. If there is anything else that I didn't touch on that somebody might like to know, just leave a comment down below, and I can either try to address it there in the comments, or we can get to it in another video. But that's pretty much it. Guess that's pretty much it for this one. We're gonna run into town here and get a few things. and relax for today. We got a couple of things to take care of on this, and we're gonna hit it back tomorrow and make it happen. So this is Brad Flat Out Trucking. See y'all next time.